Have you ever wondered what it would be like if the Philippines led the United Nations? Picture a world where this diverse, vibrant, and rapidly developing country stands at the helm of the UN, guiding global policies and initiatives. The Philippines, a nation of over 7,000 islands with a culture as rich as its biodiversity, is no stranger to the United Nations. Being a founding member of the UN, the Philippines has always been an active participant in the global arena. It has contributed to peacekeeping missions, pushed for human rights, and advocated for sustainable development. Yet the potential for leadership is even more intriguing. As a developing nation, the Philippines faces unique challenges. It grapples with issues such as poverty, climate change, and political instability. But these challenges are not unique to the Philippines alone. Many countries around the world face similar hurdles. So what happens if a country that intimately understands these issues takes the lead? The Philippines, with its resilience and innovative spirit, has often turned challenges into opportunities. It's a country that's constantly adapting and evolving, finding new ways to improve the lives of its people. Its approach to problem-solving, born from its own experiences, could offer fresh perspectives and innovative solutions to the UN. The country's strength lies in its diversity. Over 100 distinct ethnic groups coexist in the Philippines, each with its own unique culture, traditions, and languages. This diversity could be a powerful tool in fostering understanding and cooperation among the UN's diverse member states. Moreover, the Philippines' strategic location in Southeast Asia, its growing economy, and its commitment to democracy and human rights make it a strong contender for leadership. As the world becomes increasingly interconnected, the UN needs leaders who can navigate complex global issues with empathy, foresight, and a keen understanding of diversity. Imagine the fresh perspectives and innovative solutions the Philippines could bring to global issues in this role. Could the Philippines, with its unique strengths and challenges, usher in a new era of global leadership? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The world could benefit from more diverse, empathetic, and innovative leadership. To understand the significance of this scenario, we need to delve into the complex power dynamics within the UN. The United Nations, or UN, is an international organization known for its broad membership of 193 countries. Its main mission? To promote peace, security, and cooperation among nations. But how exactly is power distributed within this vast organization? The structure of the UN is divided into 6 main parts, each with its own specific role and responsibilities. The General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the UN Secretariat. However, the real power players are the 5 permanent members of the Security Council: the United States, Russia, China, France, and the United Kingdom. These nations have the ability to veto any substantive resolution, giving them significant influence over the UN's actions. But what about the other nations, especially those from the developing world? They too have a voice, albeit a less powerful one within the UN. They primarily exert influence through the General Assembly and the Economic and Social Council, where resolutions are passed by a 2/3 majority. Yet the balance of power is often tipped in favor of the developed nations due to their economic prowess and historical hegemony. This power dynamic has long been a bone of contention within the UN. Critics argue that this structure perpetuates an imbalance where the needs and perspectives of the developing nations are often marginalized. Calls for reform have been ongoing, with demands for a more equitable distribution of power and increased representation for developing nations. In this context, the Philippines leading the UN would be a game changer. As a developing nation with a history of active participation in UN affairs, the Philippines would bring a fresh perspective to the table. This shift in leadership could potentially realign the power dynamics within the UN, leading to a more inclusive and equitable global governance. But this is a hypothetical scenario, of course. The real question is, could it ever become a reality? But what would this leadership role entail for the Philippines? Imagine the immense responsibility and pressure that comes with leading the United Nations. One of the significant challenges would undoubtedly be the ability to balance national interests with global responsibilities, a tightrope walk, if you will, of diplomacy and strategy. The Philippines, despite its size, would need to exert influence over larger and more powerful nations, a daunting task indeed. Yet, with challenges come opportunities. The leadership role would offer the Philippines a unique platform to address global issues close to its heart, such as climate change and poverty reduction. Furthermore, it would provide an opportunity for the country to showcase its rich cultural heritage and promote a more inclusive global narrative. The Philippines could leverage its understanding of both Eastern and Western cultures to bridge divides and foster global unity. These challenges and opportunities would shape the Philippines' approach to global leadership. The Philippines leading the UN would undoubtedly have profound implications for global policies. Imagine a world where the Philippines heads the United Nations. It's a scenario that could bring about a significant shift in the global policy landscape. With its unique perspective and experiences, the Philippines could introduce new perspectives and priorities to the international agenda. Let's start with climate change. The Philippines, being an archipelago, is particularly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. This lived experience could drive the country to champion more aggressive climate policies globally. The Philippines could spearhead initiatives for greater emission cuts, more substantial investments in renewable energy, and stronger adaptation measures for countries most at risk. In terms of human rights, the Philippines has had its share of challenges and triumphs. It could use these experiences to advocate for stronger global policies on human rights. The country could push for more rigorous enforcement of international human rights laws, more robust protections for vulnerable communities, and more effective mechanisms for holding violators accountable. On the economic front, as a developing nation, the Philippines could bring to the fore the concerns of the global South. It could drive policies that promote fairer trade practices, more equitable distribution of resources, and sustainable economic development. The country could advocate for stronger international cooperation to tackle economic inequality and poverty. In leading the UN, the Philippines would not just bring its own experiences and perspectives to the table. It would also give voice to the concerns of other small and developing nations that often go unheard in global discussions. This could result in a more inclusive and balanced global policy agenda. But of course, this is all hypothetical. A lot would depend on how the Philippines would handle this leadership role and whether other countries would be open to its influence. The Philippines could potentially reshape the global agenda in a more equitable and sustainable direction. And that, in itself, is a thought worth exploring. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. We're diving deep into some fascinating scenarios, and the best part is, we're only halfway through. You wouldn't want to miss out on the rest of this captivating journey, would you? Imagine the thrill of being the first to know when we release a new video, exploring another riveting topic. Maybe we'll be discussing the economic implications of a single currency in Africa, or the potential of a world where artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence. By subscribing, you're joining a community of curious minds, eager to question the status quo and explore new possibilities. You're joining a group of people who aren't just satisfied with taking the world as it is, but who are eager to delve into the what-ifs and the could-bes. We're not just about hypothetical scenarios, though. We delve into current events, historical analyses, and future projections, all with a critical eye and a thirst for knowledge. We're here to challenge, to question, to provoke thought, and to incite conversation. And we can't do that without you. Your engagement, your comments, your likes, your shares, they all contribute to the richness of the conversation. They all help to create a diverse, vibrant community of thinkers and dreamers. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, be part of the conversation, be part of the community, and if you're already subscribed, thank you. We appreciate your support, your engagement, and your curiosity. We look forward to continuing this journey with you, exploring new ideas and new possibilities. Now let's get back to our discussion. What would it mean for the world if the Philippines were to lead the United Nations? What challenges and opportunities would arise? How would this impact global policies? And what would this mean for the future of global leadership? Let's find out together. Now, let's get back to our discussion. So what does the future hold for global leadership in this hypothetical scenario? Picture this, the Philippines, with its rich diversity, leading the United Nations. Sounds unlikely? Maybe, but let's delve into the potential long-term impacts such a shift could bring on the global stage. One major impact could be a shift in focus. The Philippines, a nation of over 7,000 islands, has a unique understanding of what it means to be vulnerable to climate change. As a leader, it could potentially bring a much-needed immediacy to combating climate change on a global scale. Furthermore, the Philippines' history of resilience in the face of adversity could lead to a stronger emphasis on conflict resolution and peacekeeping. Its stance against territorial disputes could inspire a more balanced, fair approach to international conflicts. Additionally, the Philippines' diverse culture could pave the way for a more inclusive global leadership. The country's myriad of languages and ethnic groups could foster a greater understanding and acceptance of cultural diversity, making the UN truly representative of the world's population. However, there would also be challenges. The Philippines, like all nations, has its share of internal issues. How it would balance its national interests with its global responsibilities could raise questions about potential conflicts of interest. Similarly, the country's economic constraints could affect its ability to contribute to the UN's budget. But even with these challenges, the prospects are intriguing. The Philippines' leadership could bring a fresh perspective to the world stage, challenging established norms and bringing new ideas to the forefront. So, in this hypothetical scenario, the future of global leadership could be dynamic, diverse, and driven by resilience. It could be a world where climate change is tackled head-on, where cultural diversity is celebrated, and where the focus is on fair and peaceful resolutions to conflicts. While this is all hypothetical, it's fascinating to imagine the possibilities. We've covered a lot of ground in exploring this hypothetical scenario. We've taken a journey into the realm of the what-ifs, examining the potentiality of the Philippines as a global power within the United Nations. We've delved into the complexities of power dynamics, the challenges and opportunities that could arise, and the possible ripple effects on global policies. Imagine a world where the Philippines, with its unique blend of Eastern and Western influences, takes the helm of the United Nations. It's a scenario that shakes up the status quo, inviting us to reconsider our preconceived notions of global leadership. This conversation, however, is just the beginning, a spark to ignite your curiosity and encourage further discussion. There are countless scenarios to explore, countless questions to ask. So let's continue this journey together. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep exploring intriguing scenarios, make sure to subscribe for more amazing content. Keep wondering. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.